From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. I don't know why, but you are.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. I completely was in mid-conversation with Susie when I hit that live button. And yeah, we're just going to roll with it there as she's looking completely, AJ, what the F?
Not only did he announce it on his page before they did. It's sure.
Yeah, but until it's completely like locked down, I don't believe shit. I don't believe shit.
What cons he was visiting 2 months ago.
You're yelling so loud, your mic's not picking it up. Nope, still not picking it up. I don't know what you're doing, but it's like, no, you cannot yell. Bad, Susie.
Do you follow him on Facebook?
I follow him everywhere. I am a Nukem stalker.
2 months ago.
Oh, my back just cracked.
Oh, that was...
Oh, I think I'm stuck like this.
Anyway, well, AJ figures out some weird voodoo to get his head up.
Whoever's got that little tiny doll with the pin needles needs to cut it out.
We're here to talk about Robert Downey Jr. and Sherlock Holmes.
It's not just Robert Downey Jr. You have you have Jude Law. And Rachel McAdams, Mark Strong. What's wrong, Will? What'd you do?
I plays Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit.
He's not in this, sweetie.
Not in this one. He's in the TV show.
Oh, I'm retarded. Bye. Okay, bye.
Hey, Will, your genius is showing. Might want to zip that up. Even Evie's like, ooh, Daddy threw this. I'm gonna eat it.
Evie, call Uncle AJ a bad man. Do it. Do it.
Daddy, you're an idiot. So we're talking about 2009's Sherlock Holmes with obviously Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law.
Cumberbatch is best Sherlock, duh. Which makes me now correct. Haha! I changed the show.
Well, if you change the show, I am severely unprepared right now. Severely unprepared.
Who's Daddy? Daddy only ever watched the first season.
We're not even talking.
Wait, did you accidentally watch the first season of Sherlock?
No, I just watched in the season when it was.
Uh-oh, they froze.
Which they're talking about bringing it back. But
Holy cow.
But yeah,
that was wild.
Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law, Rachel McAdams.
So this came out December 2009. It had a budget of just $90 million, and you really can't tell. It looks like it is stacked with budget, especially when it goes to the CGI backgrounds. But in the box office, it made $524 million. So let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Susie, we'll start right off the bat. What do you think of Robert Downey Jr. playing Sherlock Holmes?
Okay, I'm going to come back to your question. Can we talk about the director for a second?
Guy Ritchie? Yeah.
Do you know what else he directs?
Aladdin?
He's actually, and he directs the second Sherlock Holmes. He's actually got a pretty good
resume.
Yeah. For example, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Uh-oh.
What is up?
Uh, he also did The Man from Uncle. I mentioned he did Aladdin. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to see a bunch of other movies that I would actually know.
There's not a whole lot that like I know. I knew he did Aladdin. At least I thought he did Aladdin. I had to click on him to find out.
But for the most part, the movies he has done that I've seen are pretty good. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the 2019 Aladdin for, I don't want to say like Will Smith, but Will Smith as Genie, even though he made it his own. Not a fan of it. But I love Naomi Scott.
Who?
Isn't her
No.
name Naomi Scott? Yeah, Naomi
What is
Scott, Jasmine, the one that played
I heard
Jasmine.
Scott? Now what the fuck?
Oh, no, it's not. She's also in Charlie's Angels. She's Kimberly in Power Rangers.
You know that Charlie's Angels that nobody liked that we still went to go see in the movie theater. I really enjoyed.
Wasn't bad. I actually quite enjoyed it.
She's also in Lemonade Mouth.
Oh, is she? Oh.
Yep.
All right, so back to Sherlock.
So to answer your question, I am not a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes. That's my finger.
Wait, you're the one that put this on the list, though.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, okay. Finish.
So was never really a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes. I watched Robert Trey Sherlock Holmes and instantly loved it. It put a new vibe to Sherlock Holmes other than what you think of when you hear
Mhm.
Sherlock Holmes. That is still my finger.
Well, good thing she doesn't have teeth yet.
Yeah, but her gums still hurt.
Out, out. Um, I I thought he nailed it out of the park because this is outside of the animated series, like the old animated Sherlock. This was it for me. I had no other introduction or anything to Sherlock Holmes outside of Robert Downey Jr. laying out how he's gonna beat somebody's ass and then watching him do exactly what he says, and then at the end of it, just you know, recovery time 6 months, mental recovery 18 months.
Yeah, you're putting my finger there, not me.
Well, yet apparently it tastes good. I mean, with the right seasoning, everybody tastes like chicken.
This was a very different portrayal of Sherlock Holmes than normally people are used to.
I mean, for the most part, yes. Um, I love. I really loved how RDJ transforms himself in this role. Like you can't tell it's RDJ or Tony Stark or anything because he's doing this right off the heels of Iron Man. And
Iron
then
Man 1 or what was
one.
Iron Man 2 that he then did this?
One.
Um,
Because so the part of the reason that there's only two and not three movies, even though there should be floating around somewhere a script for a third movie, is because of the conflict he had with when he signed up to do Iron Man.
the
Oh.
the research I did on the third one, it's all set, ready to go. It was supposed to start filming in 2020. What happened in 2020? Yeah,
I don't know of that of which you speak.
we started the podcast.
Oh, that's what happened in 2020.
That
What?
is 100% causing RDJ and Sherlock Holmes 3 for not coming out is we started the show. Great job,
Lemonade.
AJ. Jinx, I think.
Double Jinx, Infinity Jinx. I win.
But Susie, you've probably done a lot more with Sherlock in the past, especially with possibly the books? Question mark.
I haven't had a whole lot to do with books. There are several books for Sherlock Holmes. Good luck finding the original.
But
It tells But those are I like the movies and the TV shows better. They bring a life to the books that the books just don't have. And maybe it's because I fiction and fantasy, I've always found the books to be a little dry on the
Mhm.
dry side. Um, kind of like dry wine, like very dry wine.
See what you did there.
So, but I mean, they're really good. I wouldn't compare though the movies with the books, except to say like which one would hold your attention more.
Mhm.
Because they are definitely different.
And the only reason
Any
why I bring up the difference because out of anybody here, you are probably the most. If you were going to have read it, it was going to be you. But we've talked about RDJ. Let's talk about Jude Law knocking it out of the fucking park.
chef's kiss. Fucking love Jude Law.
And
Jude Law is just he's one of my favorite actors.
fucker gets blown up halfway through the movie and he's like, I'm fine. Good. Good. It hurt. We're fine. Good.
Yeah.
And I love that they act like brothers, both of them. But Jude Law has to act like the older brother to Sherlock because Sherlock is literally just gonna be like, I'm just gonna shoot this wall up.
Let's be real here. Jude Law isn't just the older brother. Jude Law is the older brother of a younger brother who doesn't have any parents.
And who is psychotic.
Yes.
Thank you for agreeing with me, Evie. Appreciate it. So there is Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock, Jude Law as Dr. Watson, Lord Blackwood. Holy shit.
Strong.
Holy shit.
Lieutenant Stabler.
What? No. It's not Chris Maloney.
He's in these movies though. I'm pretty sure he's in these movies. Am I just mistaking which villain he is?
He's not in this movie.
I'm pretty sure he's in this movie.
I'm googling.
But
Continue.
Mark Strong, when he's not singing Country Road, Take Me Home, and then exploding, he's a really good bad guy.
That's not what I wanted.
West Virginia.
And I love how they do his character just for the fact of he sets everything up so it looks like he's a god. Like straight up. Everything is put into place. He sets everything up to look like he's using some black ass magic and kills people, makes people not die, sacrifices people, and he just gets a whole following. And it's cool that now you have a race against time for Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law to track him down and stop him. Granted, they kind of just leave him hanging there.
Sweetheart, there is Christopher Maloney. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you put them next to each other.
This fight was in the movies.
All right.
Can you name what other movie he was in that you love?
Well, he's in Kingsman.
Yes.
But no, I'm pretty sure the other guy was
No.
too. Yeah.
No.
I thought he was either the villain of the first one or he was Moriarty.
He's neither.
Bullshit.
Come on, it's going now. Okay, so 2009. There is no Sherlock. So scrolling up.
What the fuck?
There is no Sherlock.
This is kind of funny, and I feel so bad for Will.
Fuck you, ho.
I will say, if you would have said he's in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you would be correct.
Yeah, I thought he was in this movie. God, don't make fun of me.
We're not making fun of you.
No, I'm just showing how he got Maloney and Mark Strong confused.
Oh yeah, they're bald white guys.
They also look alike. Like if you put them right next to each other, the resemblance is a little uncanny.
So, Suze, what'd you think of Mark Strong playing the bad guy and how Guy Ritchie made the bad guy?
So I really like the bad guy in this one. Um, I will say though that I didn't know that, like, I didn't put two and two together until I was looking this up. I did not realize, rather, until I saw his picture. I did not realize that he was also in Kingsman.
Oh, I did.
I did not like put two and two together at all. Um, so I will have to say that this is the first movie that I got to see with Mark Strong. I probably saw other movies, but this is the one that I remember the most. Um, I I like the fact that he got to play the villain. I like the fact that he got to, you know, be a brilliant mastermind. And I like how Guy Ritchie played it off. Like he like you like even watching it now, like I know what the end result is of the movie, but I still watch for all the twists and turns because it's never the same twice. I swear.
What do you want to go over now? Because we kind of talked about the people in this movie. We talked about how RDJ Sherlock sees shit before it happens and then does it. What do you think of the story?
The female protagonist. We haven't touched about the female protagonist.
Rachel McAdams or Kelly Reilly?
Well, either or. Rachel McAdams is more the protagonist than.
Um, I very much loved her just for the fact of it gave somebody for Sherlock to chase.
Huh?
That wasn't really the bad guy, but still a bad person.
Yeah, and the other thing that I liked about her is she was just as cunning.
I would say more.
Yeah, yeah, but just as cunning as Sherlock. So it worked out. What, do you not like the fact that you can't see yourself? No. She sees further now. So everything is just like, what am I doing? Where am I going? I'm gonna cry because I don't like the fact we're sitting still. Right?
So
Right?
I know you're having some fun with the baby, but what else do you want to cover? Because I've not seen this second movie. And
Ooh.
I don't know how it leads into it just outside of Sherlock
So,
following Rachel McAdams' character to the carriage.
okay. How but how did you like this movie? Like, so like do you feel like this movie could have been a standalone movie? Like, did it need a sequel? Do
I think it fits on its own merit. It's a good movie on its own merit. It does set up a second movie, which we're going to talk about next week. Um, it definitely sets up the sequel. Do I it if I would have never have seen it, whatever. But I enjoyed this movie. I was not bored with it. I liked it. It was a nice 2 hour watch
um have you seen the TV show at all?
with Benedict Cumberbatch. No.
I would suggest, especially if you like this, like definitely give that a watch. Um, the one with Benedict Cumberbatch is definitely more towards what Sherlock is supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
versus Robert Downey Jr., you know,
A
had
little
him
more
be.
flamboyant and out there.
But I think you're gonna really like the second movie. You're gonna really like the second movie
I
because the
hope
second,
so. I'm also very excited for the third movie that we're doing in this series.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. It clicked. Somebody
I
wanted to do the Great Mouse Detective.
yeah, because every time I watch Sherlock Holmes, I get the Radigan song stuck in my head, and then I have to go watch The Great Mouse Detective. So it just goes hand in hand.
Well,
He's right though.
yeah, this was fun. I am very surprised on how much I enjoyed this movie overall. Uh, I can't wait to watch the second one, and if it's anything like the first one, which I hope it gets better with the second one because the first one is so good in my brain that I hope it can stay up to it.
The one I feel is more action packed, so you will definitely not be asleep during it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we actually get to see who Moriarty is?
No, that would be spoilers, darling. No.
Oh, he's talking to Ethan. I thought Will just collapsed in his chair. He just went like full. You have Pokemon on literally both screens.
Yes.
You have issues, pal.
Each stitch his nose.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this week's episode. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe. Hey, Suze. What else do we have down the pipe? Because now that I think about it, I have no freaking clue.
I know. And what's great is the fact that I haven't been filling it out. I'm filling out our little spreadsheet thing, so I've been making this up as I go along. So not only do we have Sherlock Holmes, Game of Shadows next week, followed by The Great Mouse Detective, I'm also throwing in there Kingsman, because why not? Let's get our feelings hurt while we're at it.
Didn't we already do Kingsman?
No.
Oh,
No, we
did.
have not.
No.
Then I just
We
watched. Then I watched Kingsman just to watch Kingsman.
Yes, I forced you to watch Kingsman just to watch Kingsman.
Usually, I'm watching stuff to prepare for shows. Oh, I binge watched all 8 episodes of Fallout and I loved it. It was so good.
So for anybody who's watched Fallout, I have not. But what I would like to mention is the fact that since Fallout has dropped, I have seen more ads for Halo. No
So-
ads for Fallout, all ads for Halo.
You could skip Halo. No, I wouldn't
So-
worry about Halo too much.
Okay, in general, I don't care. But what I'd like to know is why the increase in ads for Halo when Fallout dropped.
Because everybody's gonna be so gun ho for Fallout, might as well see if you can get people to watch Halo. This is tough. I think Fallout is, no, Last of Us is still the best video game adaptation. Fallout is 1B.
Oh, speaking of TV shows,
Ah, shit.
who pumped for Game of Thrones? House of Dragon. Green or black? Pick a side.
Black? Always black?
Always black.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the. I'm gonna have to rewatch House of Dragons.
Do you know which side is black and the green?
Targaryen's black?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which means green is
Whatever the other chick is.
yeah.
I can't think of her name.
And either it's not Lannister.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys had some fun like we did. What were your thoughts on the Sherlock Holmes movies? Did you find them any good? We'll talk to you next week. Bye, everybody. Evie.
Bye bye.
Evie.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Well, a little part of me was hoping there was gonna be like a middle finger, just waving.